Hello and welcome to the Home and Land video course for VisualBasic.net. I'm Kenny Carney, and in today's lesson we're going to do the Open File dialog box. If you remember from the previous video, we had the File menu. What we're going to do, we're going to add some code for Open and Save. When you click those menu options, you'll see the Open File dialog box appear and the Save File dialog box appear. Let's make a start. What I want to do first is to change the name of these. If you see Open, I've already changed this one, menu Open. This one, Save, it says Save to Strict Menu Item, which is a bit long. We change that name, call it Menu Save. And go over to your toolbox. Previously we had this one, Open Menus, and you added a menu strip. This time if you go to Dialogs, and you'll see all these dialog options: Font, Open File, Save. You want the Open File and the Save. So we drag one over here, you form, and you'll see it gets added right to the bottom. It doesn't get added to the form, so it's not like a command button or anything like that. It's a hidden control, if you like, not visible. That Open File dialog box, let's change the name, let's make it a little bit shorter. Let's call it Open FD. Yeah, let's add a Save one as well. Drag that one. Let's call this one Save FD. Instantly, if you haven't got a menu, if you didn't do the previous video, then you can simply go to Common Controls and add two buttons. If you call one Open and if you call one Save, then you can add the code to the Open and Save buttons rather than the file options. If you click back on Open FD, this control, you have a look at some of the properties we're going to be covering. We'll do these with code. We're going to be covering the filter property. We'll do the file name, I think. Yeah, probably that one. Initial directory as well. We're going to be doing that one. Yeah, I think that's it. Right. So to open up a code stub, click on File, and if you have a double click here in the grey area, double click, it should. Fingers crossed. Where's it gone? There it is. We've got menu open, and it's a click event, just like buttons. So whenever you click on a menu item, it'll execute code between private sub and end sub. To display a file dialog box, it's quite easy. You just have the name of your control, which we called Open FD. Then you type a dot, and there's show dialog. Show dialog. You need to put around brackets. And if you do the same for Save, double click here, and you save. This time it's Save FD dot, and it's the same thing, show dialog, exactly the same. And you think surely it can't be as easy as that. Let's have a try. Start, form, got file, open, and as the Open File dialog box appears. And as you can see, it's in this PC Documents folder. So that's the default for the Documents folder. Showed a couple of docx files and text files and a couple of images here. If you click on Open, and it doesn't actually open anything, you've got to write separate code for that, which we'll do in a later tutorial, I think. Have a look at the file name, Open File Dialog 1. Can't cancel to get rid of it. And that. Go back to your form. Click on Open FD, and you'll see that file name is Open File Dialog Box. If you get rid of all that, just press delete and press the Enter key. We'll use some code a little later to get at the file name. Which we'll do first. We'll do initial directory, this one. You could just actually type in here, like something C, colon, So backslash, and if you started it, I think it starts in the C directory. Let's go test. Open. Yeah, local disk C. You can do it all with code as well. Let me get rid of that. Go back to the coding window. And I've opened the show dialog last. So type OpenFD again, OpenFD, type a dot, and you'll see lots of things you can do. We need that initial directory property, which is there. And you can add an equals sign. And if you like, you can add that C there, as you saw before. If you wanted to go to the documents folder, you need a long list of properties. It starts with environment, then it's get folder path, I think. Get folder path. Then it's a pair of round brackets. Then you need environment again. Environment. Then it's a special folder. If you type a dot, you'll see all the special folders. See these ones. Desktop, favorites, fonts, history, my computer. This is the one we want. My documents. And that is the way to set the initial directory to your My Documents folder. Let's see if it works. Well, it will anyway, because that's the default. Yeah, it's back to documents. There we go. Close that one down. There's also a filter property you can add. Open, what's that plan? FD again. And dot filter. And this is going to filter files in the folder. So if you want to display, say, only text files, if you want to display only docx files or images, this is where you do it. So start with an equal sign. Equal. I've done that again. And double quotes. And so if you want to just text files, this is text files. Then you want a straight line, which is to the left of the Z key on your keyboard. Then you want asterisks. An asterisk? Yeah, there's an asterisk. And the dot and txt. So the asterisk means all files. So all files that end in the extension .txt. Let's see if that works. Start. Open. Yeah, and now it's just showing 2 text files there, as well as all the folders. So those images in the docx files you saw earlier have disappeared. And it's got this box here, text files, text, and then asterisk.txt that we added after the straight line, wasn't it? If you wanted to add more extensions here, you type again straight line, then text, say Word docs. You can type anything you like here, to be honest. But this sheet, then you need another straight line. But here you need the asterisk, then the dot, and let's type docx. Docx. Okay, see if that works. File, open. Yeah, so it's showing text files or text. Has it got the other one on the list? Docx. Yep, it's showing 2 docx files. On these extension menus, there's usually an all files. You can add that at the start if you like. All files, straight line. This time you want the asterisk dot asterisk and a straight line. That means any file name and any file extension. See if that works. Start. Open. Yeah, there we go. All files, that's the first one. It's showing my images there. Text files, hides all others. Docx. Back to all files. Oh, well, there we go. Get rid of that. Right, what we can do now is get at the file name. So whichever file we select, we'll display it in a message box. Let me set up a variable at the top of the code. I'll call it dim selected file name. Selected file name as string. And after show dialog, what you can do here, have that variable selected file name again, equals sign, have the OpenFD again, and dot, and you'll see there's a file name. There's also file names if you wanted to open multiple files, but we'll just do one file name. And let's display the results in a message box. Message box dot show selected file name. Let's see what happens here. Start, open. Let me try test file 1. Click my open button, and there it is. There's the file name we selected, as well as the path to open it. See users Ken documents test file 1.txt. In a later video tutorial, we're going to be doing something with that. So in other words, we're going to open that file, and we're going to go through all the lines of a text box. It's a little bit complicated at this stage, so we'll leave it for a little while. What else can we do? You can add some code to see whether the cancel button was clicked, and we're going to use dialog results like we did in a previous tutorial for our message box. Dim D results. The result as dialog results. This is what we had before. And so what we can do is add an if statement. Which we can say if the results equals dialog results, and type a dot cancel. So if the cancel button was clicked, we can code just for that. We'll add an else as well. Else. We'll move this one here. There. We'll add another message box for the cancel. Let me paste that one there. It's no file selected. Say no file selected. That one. Right, so for this one, if the result equals dialog result, cancel. So if the cancel button is clicked, then this piece of code will get executed. In a later tutorial, we'll do in the else part. So for the else part, we'll be actually opening up the file. And for now, just see whether that cancel button works. Start, file open, immediately cancel, and you can see there it's totally blank. There is nothing in that dialog box there, so it didn't actually do anything. And the reason why it was totally blank is because we've got OpenFD.show dialog box. We're just calling that straight away. We need something back from here because we're using dialog.result.cancel, so we need to record what the show dialog box did. So you can put the D result here, D result, then you can add an equal sign. Now, after OpenFD show dialog box, if you click the cancel, it will put the dialog result inside this D result here. Then the if statement makes sense. If D result equals dialog.cancel. Now let's see if it works. Debug, start, file, open, cancel, and there's our message box. No file selected. And I think we will leave it there. See you in the next lesson.